No, there's wild day deal for myself, the real aim and popping off as much rugby league information as possible. Right now, continuing on with the first games played by every team at the series, and so you don't miss any polarising rugby league information. Watch this video all the way through to the end in its entirety, as per always. So, going alphabetically, today we're up to Cronulla Sharks first of the game. They entered the comp in 1967, so 1967 round 1. Came up with the best possible start. And they emerged with an 11 points to 5 win over Roosters at the Sydney Sports Ground, which was Roosters' home ground at the time. But unfortunately, despite that bright start to their campaign, they could only produce a handful more strong performances throughout the 1967 season, and eventually ended up in 12th place, which was last place, and getting the wooden spoon. Nowhere near as humiliatingly though as Canterbury's debut season in 1935, or Canberra's debut season in 1982, which we have revisited and gone over recently. So, this particular game here, Cronulla 11 East 5 at the Sydney Sports Ground, 1967 round 1. The referee, Keith Page. The venue, Sydney Sports Ground. The crowd at 6,137 people, so not a very good one. Still, like some people saw Cronulla's first of the game. And the date, the 2nd of April 1967. And the Cronulla player who got their first ever try, his name was John Hines. Now, I'm not actually sure if that's any relation to Nico Hines or not, but his name was John Hines, and he'll always have the honour of getting Cronulla's first ever try. And the other player, Terry Hughes, he'll have the honour of getting Cronulla's first ever 4 goals. So, like we always have to remember, at the time, tries were 3 points. So, 1 try, 3 points, and 4 goals is 8 points. That makes 11. While for East, it's obviously just 1 converted try. Scored by Jim Matthews, getting the only try, and converted by Will Barnes. He was the East player who got their goal in that one. Yeah, but like I said, unfortunately, wins, bright moments few and far between for poor old Cronulla in their debut season, 1967. The only other times they got some competition points was the round 4 game, 1967. Cronulla had managed to defeat Parramatta 23-11 at Sutherland, their home ground. Cronulla's home ground, that is. In round 10, they'd beaten Norths 19-13 at Sutherland, and in round 13, they'd had a 6-all draw with Balmain at Sutherland. So, the debut win in round 1 against East at the Sports Ground, that was the only away win Cronulla could manage for the whole season. They'd have to wait till 1968 to get a few more away wins, unfortunately. And coincidentally, Penrith Panthers also entered the comp in 1967, and they just happened to finish 11th in second last, only just ahead of Cronulla. So, the two new boys finding the going very difficult on debut, and obviously we'll get to the Penrith video eventually. Their first game, round 1, 1967, we'll get to that eventually. But like I said, understandable. Nowhere near as treacherous. And they weren't losing by 50 and 60 points like Canterbury and Canberra were in their debut seasons. So, the games Cronulla did lose, by fair margins, but not by ridiculous astronomical margins. After the 22 regular season games being played, Cronulla had just the 3 wins, 1 draw, and 18 losses. Scored 208 points in attack and conceded 486 points in defence, for and against minus 278. Now that does sound very depressing. Yes, it does sound very, very miserable indeed. It's understandable when it's the team's first season. At least the for and against wasn't minus 510 like Canterbury's was in their first year 1935, which we've already talked about. And at least it wasn't minus 593 like Canberra's was in their first year 1982, which we also talked about. There you go, right, a bit of a simple one this time. But the next one, definitely not simple. So, going in alphabetical order, next up is Cumberland. Now, I've mentioned in quite a few videos before that Cumberland were a team who participated in the very first year of the competition, 1908 only. And that was the only year they ever played. So, that's obviously going to be a hard one coming up tomorrow for me, but I'll find a way to get it done. We've got to go for all the scores for Cumberland, just because it was the only games they ever did play. Cumberland, they found it going so tough, right, in their debut season. I won't give away all the scores yet, but they found it going so tough, they actually had to borrow players from other teams. Sometimes, they were so disorganised they couldn't even field a team, they'd end up borrowing players from other teams just to play that specific game. So, probably a good thing that they weren't around anymore after the first year. But, Cronulla's first game ever, 1967 round 1, Cronulla 11 East 5 at the Sydney Sports Ground. And if you're still watching all the way through to the end, as per requested, thank you so much. Not missing any pulverising rugby league information, and most importantly, thank you so much for that head-crushing brutal support. Your boy all day, 47, 2 and 11.